Hello everybody, welcome to our science class. Today we are going to learn about new chapter, waste and its management. Children, open your textbook at page number 256, chapter waste and its management. So before starting the chapter, let us have an idea about waste. So what do you mean by waste? You have seen several types of waste surrounding us, like waste papers, junk, garbage, unused materials, isn't it? So first we should have an understanding about what do you mean by waste and some ways for management of all these wastes. Okay, so let us learn about that. Children, now let us learn about the mind map for this chapter, waste and its management. So first, what do you mean by waste? Anything that is eliminated or discarded as no longer useful or required after completion of a process, or required after a completion of process. So which is not required was called as waste. It's called as waste. Clear, children? This is what about waste. Now waste is further classified into different types of waste. Okay, so first about household waste. What is that? Household waste. So what is household waste? The waste generated by people at home is household waste. The waste generated by people at home. And then industrial waste. What is that? Industrial waste. And this is nothing but the waste which is generated by industries. Waste generated by industries or industrial waste. Next is about agricultural waste. Agricultural waste. And here these are waste which are generated on agricultural farm. Okay, and then biodegradable. Again, there are different types of waste like solid, liquid and gaseous. So here solid waste is again classified into two types, biodegradable and non-biodegradable. Biodegradable and non-biodegradable. So first let us learn about biodegradable. What do you mean by the word biodegradable? Biodegradable means it can be decomposed into simpler substances. It can be decomposed into simpler substances. And then non-biodegradable, which cannot be decomposed into simpler substances. So this is what about degradable and non-biodegradable. Clear? Yes, children. Now let us start the chapter, waste and its management. So first of all, let us learn what do you mean by waste. So the proper definition is anything that is eliminated or discarded as no longer useful or required after the completion of a process is called waste. Children, I repeat, anything that is eliminated or discarded as no longer useful or required after the completion of a process is called waste. Is called the waste. So waste is also known as rubbish, trash, junk or garbage. Okay, so there are different types of waste. Let us learn one by one. So the major waste, they have classified the main types of waste as household, industrial and agricultural. What is that? Household, industrial and agricultural. So as the word means household, household means the waste generated by people at homes. The waste generated by people at homes. Say for an example, vegetable peels, leftover food, wrapping materials, tins, can and domestic sewage. All these things will come under household waste. Clear? Now, second type, that is industrial waste. Industrial waste. What is that? As the name suggests, it is nothing but the waste which is generated by industries. Waste generated by industries. So, for example, chemical, metal scraps, plastics and wastewater. Then agricultural waste. Third type is agricultural waste. So, what do you mean by agricultural waste? Waste generated on agricultural farms is called as agricultural waste. For example, fertilizers, husks and chaff. Fertilizers, husks and chaffs. Clear? Yes, children. Now, let us learn about all the different types of waste. So, the first type is solid waste. What is that? Solid waste. So, let us learn about solid waste. Solid waste, there are different types of solid waste. They are basically divided into two types. What are they? Biodegradable and non-biodegradable. What is that? Biodegradable and non-biodegradable. Okay. Then, waste that can be decomposed by small living organisms are called as decomposers. What I said? Waste that can be decomposed by small living organism, microorganism, that is called as decomposers. And decomposers that are present inside the soil and air, decomposers, the microorganisms which are present inside the soil and air is called as biodegradable waste. What is that? It's called as biodegradable waste. Okay, so what happens to this biodegradable waste? Such waste finally get mixed with the soil. All products that originate from living matter forms the biodegradable waste. I repeat, all products that originate from living matter forms the biodegradable waste. For example, fruit, vegetable peels, animal remains, leaves, paper and manure, everything will come under biodegradable waste, which can be decomposed, which can be degraded, which can be decomposed, is called as biodegradable waste. Yes, children, now let us learn about non-biodegradable waste. Non-biodegradable, which does not decompose. Okay. Waste that cannot be decomposed into simpler substances by decomposers are called as non-biodegradable waste. Clear, children? Yes. For example, plastic and tin articles that are thrown in the soil which do not break down even after thousands of years. So, all these are examples for non-biodegradable waste. Non-biodegradable waste do not decay. What happens? It do not decay. They get washed into the sewer system and clog it. It will clog. Okay. So that our government has developed some steps, okay, for recycling process. For what? For doing this recycling process, so that it will help in converting the harmful waste into useful substances. Clear, children? Yes. Children, now let us learn about liquid waste and gaseous waste. So first let us learn about liquid waste. So what do you mean by liquid waste? So you will be getting liquid from your kitchen, isn't it? Waste water, and then from agricultural land, industries, isn't it? Yes. Let us learn about that. When we wash the dishes, dirty water containing the washed off dirt flows down the drain. The runoff water from agricultural farms contain chemical fertilizers. So the water which have been already used will contain some chemical fertilizers. So those water will be released out. Then industries also release effluents as waste products of their process. So from the industries, as a byproduct, you will be getting this effluents, okay, and these are waste products which are released by the industries. So you will be getting here, all these things will altogether make liquid waste. Clear? Next thing is about gaseous waste. What is that? Gaseous waste. So what do you mean by gaseous waste? The waste mainly produced by the exhaust of vehicles and chimneys of factories in the form of smoke and harmful gases all together make gaseous waste. Clear? Burning of leaves, paper, plastics and coal also release smoke and harmful gases into the air. So thus it adds everything to gaseous waste. Children, now let us learn about waste segregation. What is that? Waste segregation. So what do you mean by waste segregation? Every house must have separate bins for different kinds of waste. So some of the waste are degradable, decomposable, okay, and some others will not get decomposed, isn't it? Plastic, papers and all. So that's why there is a need to have separate bin, okay. So we should have one bin for biodegradable waste, that is vegetable peels and leftover food. Vegetable peels and leftover food, and then another bin separately for non-biodegradable waste, okay, like plastics, glasses, then packaging materials and tin cans. Clear, children? Yes. So in public place you could have noticed different colored bins, isn't it? Like green colored, blue colored, red colored bins and all. So each and every color is having a specific purpose, okay. So for green bins, it is actually for composable waste which includes leftover food, fruit and vegetable peels, decaying food items and garden litter. So all this leftover food and food items, vegetable peels will come under this green bins. It should be disposed in the green colored bins. Clear? Then next thing is about blue colored bins. Blue bins, that is recyclable waste includes made of plastics, metal and glass. So these things we can recycle. The products which can be recycled will be disposed in this blue colored bins like plastics, metal and glass. Okay. Next thing is about red colored bins. What is that? Red colored bins. So here some toxic waste materials like syringes, expired medicines and used batteries, all these things are collected and will be disposed in this red colored bins. Clear? Then they usually place near hospitals. So this red colored bins will be usually placed near hospitals. Clear, children? Yes. Now let us learn about managing non-biodegradable waste. Okay. Non-biodegradable waste is not decomposed by the action of decomposers. So with the help of decomposers, it won't get decomposed. The disposal is done differently. Disposal is done differently here. So here they are using 5 R's. 5 R. Okay. So the first one is refuse. Refuse. So here learn to say no to things that we actually do not need. So if we do not need, we should learn to say no. We should not keep adding those things. So that's what refuse. Clear? Then the second point is reduce. What is that? Reduce, limit it. Using less and producing less waste. Using less and producing less waste. Okay, conservation means limited usage of resources to generate less waste. I repeat, conservation means limited usage of resources to generate less waste. Clear? So this is as like collecting unused pages from old notebook at the end of the school session, and we'll make a rough work. We can use that old pages which has not been used into a new book, and that we can use for rough work, isn't it? Yes, that's what reduce, using less and producing less waste. Clear? Then reuse. Third thing is about reuse. Materials may be reused either to serve its original purpose or used for different purpose, or they are used for different purpose. For example, jam bottles and jars. Jam bottles and jars. They can be used for storage containers. So, apart from storing jam or any other thing, they can be also again reused to store for any other thing, isn't it? Yes, that's what reuse. Clear, children? Yes. Now let us learn further, that is next are recycle. What is that? Recycle. With the development of technology, we can recycle some articles to make completely different items. Okay, so thereby reducing the production of more waste. So we can turn the product into completely different another particle, completely different particle or item. Okay, then like we are converting old newspapers to paper packets. Okay, so this is one example for recycle. The next thing is about reform. Some articles can also be used to extract the raw materials present in them through more chemical process. So they are using some articles to extract the raw materials through chemical process. So these materials can then be used to make new products. So with this we can again use it to make new products. That's what about reform. So we have learned till now 5 R's, isn't it? So what are the 5 R's? Refuse, reduce, reuse, recycle and reform. Yes, children. Now let us learn about toxic waste. Okay, so toxic waste that contain substances harmful for human health and environment is called as toxic waste. I repeat, waste that contain substances harmful for human health and environment is called as toxic waste. Clear? Then they have harmful effects on human health. They have harmful effects. Why? Because they contain cancer causing substances. The toxic waste may even reach water bodies such as streams and groundwater. Imagine if suppose the toxic waste has mixed with this groundwater, then whomsoever is intaking this water will again get affected, isn't it? That's what. The toxic waste may even reach water bodies such as streams and groundwater, which when consumed by plants and animals will affect the surrounding wildlife. So that this is what about toxic waste. So what I said, the waste that contains substances and harmful for human health and environment is called as toxic waste. Clear? Then we should avoid using plastic bags. and we should try always to use reusable bags. Reusable bags which are nature friendly, right? Then find out the correct place to dispose the plastic bags. We have to find the correct place to dispose the plastic bags so that they may be collected easily for recycling. Clear? So this is what about toxic waste and what we should preferably use. Now let us learn about managing biodegradable waste. Okay. So the first way is about composting. Okay. So compost is the organic material. Compost is the organic material broken down and recycled by decomposers, and that is used as fertilizers. What I said, compost is the organic material which is broken down and recycled by decomposers, that is microorganism, and that is used as fertilizers. Clear? Then decomposers work on the plant remain and other component of organic materials and convert them into earthy, dark, crumbly substances called compost. I repeat, so these decomposers, that is microorganism, that will work on organic materials and convert the substances into earthy, dark, crumbly substances called compost. Clear? Then it is used as organic manure. So compost is an organic manure. Clear? Organic manure to enrich soil. Okay. Then next is about vermicomposting. What is that vermicomposting? Addition of red worms. Addition of red worms to the compost plant, so that it will turn into nutrient rich manure. So what you are doing, you are adding red worms to the compost plant, and so that it add rich manure, nutrient rich manure in about 3 weeks. Clear? So this is what about vermicomposting. Now the last part of the chapter, that is landfilling. What is this? The second part. Okay, the landfilling is a method of disposing waste by burying it. So we are going to bury the disposed waste. This is an age-old garbage disposal method. This is an old method. Once the land is filled, it can be used to redevelop a park on the same land. So once we are filled with these garbage, automatically we can redevelop a park on the same place. Okay, this is what about landfilling. Yes children, now you can see some soil here. So now I am going to show you an activity for biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste. Okay, so we have kept some moist soil. Okay, so in one part of this we are going to put some banana peel. Okay, you can see here banana peel. Okay, so I am just going to put over the soil. Okay, so what I am going to do, over to this I am going to put some dry leaves. Okay, and just close it, and some soil over to that, and just I'll close it. Okay, then what I'll do, in the other side I'm going to have some plastic covers. Okay, I'm just going to put some plastic covers inside the soil. Okay, so now I'm going to cover this area. Okay, yes, now I'm going to leave it. The same thing will be kept undisturbed for 30 days. Now you can see the same thing which is kept before 30 days. So after 30 days, if you are just removing the soil layer, the top layer, you cannot see the banana peel here. Okay, it get mixed with soil. Whereas this side, that is with plastic bag, if you're digging, you'll get the same plastic bag. So it didn't get decomposed. Okay. So plastic bag does not degrade even after 1 month. Not only 1 month, even after so many years also, this plastics will not get degraded. So this is what about biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste. Yes children, now an activity for you all. So now what you're going to do, you're going to make a paper bag. Okay, so you might have seen like this some waste papers which is there in your home. So try to collect the waste paper, and then after collecting you just staple the bag, staple the paper and tie it to hold the bag. Okay, so like this make a bag, paper bag, so that you can carry simple things such as envelopes and rough notebooks and all. Clear? So that it will be a useful product. From the waste paper you are making a useful product. Clear children? Do it and forward in your class email ID. So children, with this we have come to an end of this chapter. So learn and practice well. We'll meet in the next session. Thank you all.